You want to hear a crazy story? This is Cody Sperber, analytical. My biggest self-limiting beliefs was that I looked young. I looked like I was 10 years old, like trying to go flip a house. Like people were, who's going to take me seriously? I have no money. I drive a piece of crap Nissan pickup truck. Like who's going to think that I'm going to pay cash for their house? And that translated to everything I did. I believed that internally, that I sounded young. I looked young. That was my fear. So I hesitated getting on the phones. And Lyle, my mentor, knew that I was lying to him, telling him that I was making my calls when I wasn't making my calls. And finally, one day he said, you know what, Cody, enough's enough. And we had this 3-strike rule with me. He took me on as a student as long as it was like baseball. I had 3 strikes. Once the 3rd strike happened, I'm done. So I already had 1 strike against me and I was working on my 2nd. And so he was like, I know you're lying about your calls. Here's an address. Meet me here at midnight tonight. And I was like, what are you, crazy? And he goes, bring your call scripts. Meet me here at midnight tonight. And I'm like, so you're going to be there at midnight? And he goes, just meet me there at midnight. I show up at this address at midnight and it's a cemetery and it's the middle of the night. And guess who doesn't come? Lyle doesn't show. 30 minutes later, he calls me. He goes, you there? I said, yeah, I'm here. And he goes, I said, are you coming? Like, I'm sitting here waiting for you. What are you doing? And he goes, get out your call scripts, walk into the middle of the cemetery. We're going to role play. And he role played with me for about 35 minutes in the middle of the cemetery. And at the end of it, I finally just started shaking my head. I was like, I understand what you're doing now, Lyle. And he goes, Cody, listen to me. You're the only thing in your way. You will be super successful if you can just knock that BS self-limiting belief right out of your head that people aren't going to take you seriously. If you can do this in the scariest place in the middle of the night, you could do this in your dress pajamas in the comfort of your own home. Stop getting in your own way and start making your dang calls. And I was like, I get it. Yeah, he's right. Like, I can't believe I've been overcomplicating this. And as I was leaving there, he said, by the way, look at all those people. They've all slid into their graves. Some of them lived life to the fullest, and some of them live life with regrets. You got to pick and choose which way you're going to live. And I went home that day, and I woke up the next morning. I said, you know what? I'll never not pick up the phone again and make my calls. And I started getting really good at the calls, and now it's my favorite thing to do in the business. I love talking to people. I love working the leads. And I share that with you because it seems complicated. It felt like that phone was 10,000 pounds. When people would call, I would answer. I would hang up quickly because of my fear. But once you get through it, it's game on. And that's how you do deals. You need to do 2 things in this business to make it rain. 1, get on the phone and talk to people. 2, get out and actually go to the real estate and make some dang offers. You do those 2 things and you have a very good chance of becoming very successful in the real estate business.
If you enjoyed this excerpt from the Millionacres Podcast, please consider subscribing from your favorite podcast provider. New episodes of the Millionacres Podcast are released every Tuesday. Millionacres is a Motley Fool service. Find out more at millionacres.com.